Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com and I'm here to do the Aries November Tarot reading. I like to do it a little bit differently. If you're new and you haven't been following me, I'll just briefly explain. I like to have a little vision before I turn the cards over because I find that gives a much fuller picture of what is going on, what the energies for the month are. So if you are new, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit that notification bell right now. Okay, let's go to the board and draw those cards. Okay, so Aries, and if you want to, you can do this like pick a card if you want, and pick a number between 1 and 5 if you want to do it that way, or you might want to just take the whole 5 and go week by week. And here at the end there'll be a couple of days at the end because 30 days in November. So we're looking at card number 1, or the first week of the month for awesome Aries. Just looking for a card that one will do. Card that really calls me. Okay, I haven't even got my eyes closed, but very clearly I see some trees. Okay, so this is probably your family tree. And I see them sort of blowing in the breeze. There's quite a stiff wind. That implies that there's a lot of mental activity going on, a lot of thought being given to something. And because there is a fair bit of movement here that I can see, there's a possibility that people may change their minds about something. I see maybe it's 3 or 4, a group of trees, and there's some sort of family disruption or family argument about something because people are changing their minds, and what was acceptable previously is not acceptable now for some reason, or there's differences of opinion between different trees, okay, or different family members. Let's have a look. The card that comes up is the 7 of Wands, and this is all about the need to stand and defend yourself. It could be that you have a different opinion to some family members about something, and you really have to, I feel like there's a male energy here, and you really have to stand up against a male energy. They could be like brothers or a father perhaps, but it's a strong energy, and it's time that you assert yourself. You can see here she's got red, so there could be a little bit of anger here in this red bra. There's some black because she doesn't have the full picture, but she's prepared to stand up for what she believes in, and that's fair enough. Wands are very fiery sort of energy, and so yeah, some arguments could be going down. If it's not the family, it's someone close to you, but I feel it is probably a blood relative. Usually, you know, when I see trees, it's family trees. Okay, card number 2, or the second week of November. Going with that card there. And do let me know, you know, what you think. Did you have an argument? Did you have an argument with someone in your family in the beginning of November? Okay, second week of the month, or card number 2, if you're doing pick a card. Yes, so this argument still going on in the second week. It's not fully resolved. I see an umbrella and quite a stiff breeze and a lot of rain coming down. So rain is like tears. The best thing might be for you to consider, and I know it's hard sometimes when you know you're full of energy for what your beliefs are. Sometimes it's better to walk away. You've stood your ground. You said what you think. But there's no point in prolonging an argument. Okay, Ace of Wands. This is like a new beginning or a new start to something. Maybe you see a way clear of this situation. And again, this is very motivational energy. And you may put that energy into something that actually works for you, like a new project, a new job, or something that really helps you express yourself. But I feel like it's on your own, okay? Perhaps there was something with your family that you were thinking about doing, and now you've gone out alone. There were some challenges because you can see these mountains here in the background, but Spirit is giving you a brand new beginning if you decide to take action. See these leaves here? They are all about growth and expansion. You could earn some money through this. See, there's a crown here at the top. It's almost like a crown of thorns, but it's got a lot of green buds, a lot of green growth. Okay, still some sort of confusion or something that's not clear in the background, and that's okay, but you can see it is blowing away too. There are spots of sky there that you can see. Okay, so making progress from the beginning of the month. Looking at the third week of the month now for you, awesome Aries. Going with that card on top. Close my eyes now. Something about a fish. Fish are about, you know, the symbols that the Christians used to use amongst each other at the time of Christ and afterwards, because it wasn't safe, because the early Christians were persecuted by the Romans and other people. And so the sign of the fish was the sign, ichthys was the sign for Christianity, or the followers of Jesus. It probably wasn't known as Christianity actually in those days. But this is about your subconscious. This is a sign of messages coming up and picking up things, understanding your dreams, your meditations, the little things that fly into your mouth, or fly into your mind. I just looked at that and I said mouth. Fly into your mind and paying attention. Now this is the fish I was just talking about in the vision. You see how it works together? The cards and the visions. So this is a very big message coming up, and involves a group of people that are quite social. It can be family members again, and it does suggest that there's some sort of social event, but perhaps things don't go 100% smoothly. It's all okay. It's not like anything's really bad's going to happen, but that you might not agree on every single point. And that's okay too, because your subconscious is activated here. And you might find that one member is particularly active, another person's a bit wasteful or just can't be bothered or something like that. And this one's a bit quieter but more thoughtful. So there's people in the family that are coming from entirely different perspectives or points of view, and they're all united by this subconscious thing that's going on. These complexes are activated deep down in the subconscious. I feel this could also be to do with money. It could be something like an inheritance, or carrying out the will of one or more parents, you know, that there's some sort of family discussion that is needed, but money is involved. Okay. If it's not that, it could just be a group of friends that you go out, but you don't always necessarily see eye to eye with. And can you trust them? Only to a certain point, okay, would be my advice. But that's no reason, you know, to break off the relationship. Maybe you go out and have a great time, you know, but just know that there's something that's not 100% there. Okay, so looking at the fourth week of the month for you, awesome Aries, and do stick around to the end because I'll do a channeling for everybody. Okay, going with this card, closing my eyes now. What do I see? Oh, right, a box of tissues. So that does mean tears. It probably is arguments. At least, you know, there's some upset here. But the other thing I want to say about it, it's only temporary. So it's not like it's going to go on and on and on. You know, you'll let this energy out, and then you'll be free of that, and then you'll be able to see the situation more clearly. Page of Swords. I always think pages are about good news. Swords are your thoughts. Okay, some decisions to be made in November, and you may have to cut a situation off or a person off. Okay, that's what the swords are about, is cutting, analysing and dissecting. It could be a situation with somebody, you don't agree, don't see eye to eye, and you know, you might just choose to not talk to the person about that subject anymore, or in a worst case scenario you might decide, well, that's it, you're out of my life. Look at the big picture they're saying, because there's all these birds up here. Only you can decide what you do, but this does mean that some decisions have to be made. Okay, a lot of mental activity, but it's a positive thing too, because if you need to cut anybody off, you'll be much better off in the long run. But it's probably, rather than just cutting a person off, it's probably cutting a situation off. You know, when you make a decision to go down a certain track, you're limiting yourself to that commitment, that thing that you're committing to. So then everything else, all the potential is out of the ballpark because you've made a decision down a certain pathway. Okay, looking at the last couple of days of the month, going to go with that card, Awesome Aries. Purple and yellow colours flash into my mind. How's your head? Have you been having headaches? Is there a lot of pressure or stress in your mind? I just feel like my head's going to explode now that I'm focusing on this. The purple energy is coming through. That's the spiritual energy. But it's like it's coming into your head and it's actually causing a bit more pressure because your head's already full of thoughts and considerations about stresses and pressures that you're under. And then on top of that, you've got all this spiritual energy coming in, shaking things up as well. Yellow is about the solar plexus energy, success, achievement, being goal-oriented, wanting to move ahead, further yourself in life, being more independent and free. The card that comes up is the Nine of Cups. Okay, so this is about your heartfelt dreams and desires being made manifest. The end of November is a great time for asking the universe to grant your heartfelt desires. Okay, this is not the same as fantasies, because fantasies go on in your mind. You have to put some, you know, sort of energy into making up a little story for a fantasy, where a heartfelt desire is just a feeling and that's it. You don't even have to think about it. It's just there. And there's no effort or energy required with a desire. You just feel a desire without thinking about it. Some action needs to be taken. She's got red legs here, and then the genie comes out of the lamp. But you'll see that she's on the ground. So she's got she's kneeling on the ground because she's grounded in practical reality. So she's not saying, I want to be the President of the United States next week, okay? She's not just pulling out some wild, ridiculous fantasy that can never come true. She is being very practical about what she wants, okay? And then there's the ocean here in the background, which is the subconscious forces. And you'll notice the genie is also blue, which relates to sort of the ocean as well. So the ocean of the subconscious can supply our desires. There is a mountain over here which suggests a challenge. There's a challenge about it. But this is quite a good card, and cups are all about your feelings. So it might be that you've come to the end of a cycle where you've been hoping and dreaming and really desiring a situation, and now something can happen that will help manifest that dream and desire into your life in a very real way, and it has to be in a practical, realistic way as well. So wands, cups, swords, cups. Okay, so we haven't got much about money there, apart from this card which I psychically pick up. There's some undercurrent of money, but yes, a fiery month in November, a lot of passion with the wands there, and a lot of emotion going on, more so than thinking about things and actually looking at facts. All right, so now I'm going to close my eyes and see what I can see for you, Awesome Aries. In November 2020, door opening in front of me. The door opens up, which is an opportunity opening. It's dark in there and then it slams shut. That suggests to me that something comes up. It looks like it's an opportunity, but it doesn't actually work out. So you might hear of something and think, I'd like to do that, but then sort of be stopped. And then there's a whole group of books in front of me here, which means there's something about knowledge. You need to have more knowledge and the wisdom on, you know, whatever it is that you want. And then an axe comes down and sort of chops that. So you might be hoping or dreaming for something, and then this axe comes in and chops it out of the way. But of course, that's not all of you. That's just some of you. Okay, I can see, this is for people in America, because I can see the green paper money. In Australia, we've got plastic money and it's very colourful, and this is not the same. So I can see money sort of waving out. Those of you who have asked me about stimulus check, and I've said in previous months it's going to be delayed. I think there's something major in November about the stimulus checks going out, and I feel like it's good news. So good news is coming, but at the time I'm doing this, I understand there's no stimulus agreement yet, so it hasn't been passed in Congress. But I feel in November you're going to have some good news about that, because I can see the money and it's like flying through the ether going out to people. Or perhaps it's another lot of money, nothing to do with stimulus, but I see money in the ether going to people on a large sort of collective level. Okay, there's a rocket here in front of me about to take off, so that is a grand plan or idea that's about to start. I feel like a whole lot of new legislation in America, particularly coming into being, a whole lot of new laws that seem more positive for the country. Okay, and that's different because we've got our elections here in Queensland, where I am, at the end of the month, and it's just ho-hum. I don't get a lot happening for Queensland, a lot of change. It just feels like the same. So I would say the same government, Labor, Anastasia Palaszczuk will be returned, I feel like, if you're in Queensland. Okay, could be wrong, but what's this? I see a spine. I see some screws going into somebody's spine. I don't know if this has got to do with Anastasia's government or this is actually somebody who's listening. Back surgery in the middle of the back and screws and plates going in. Oh, gee. Wow. I'm not going to even focus on that too much because that is just, wow. That is a major, major deal. This feels like it's been an accident, like a lot of damage there. So my best wishes and healing energy to you if that's you. Okay, I do feel it's an individual person, not Anastasia Palaszczuk and her government. Okay, that takes my breath away. Okay, anything else for Aries in November? Aries Tarot in November. Okay, so it's been a long night and it's like driving in the night time and the sun is just coming up. A new day, a brand new day. I feel a sense of hope, a sense of change, things getting better. It's more positive than it has been. And to those of you suffering from headaches, because I can feel that going on at the moment, some of the stress will be released, thankfully, in November. Okay, so that's it, Sensational Aries. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you're new, please consider subscribing to my channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell right now. Okay, most importantly, everyone have a wonderful month. Change is around and change is afoot. Okay, thank you. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.